Hello, welcome back. Thanks for watching. In this video, we're going to be talking about theological debates. If you watch my video on the beginning of the game and the 95 Theses Reformation attempts, in general, Reformation and Counter-Reformation attempts are very symmetrical. And so what would happen is Protestants try to reform a space and say they're getting 4 dice with the papacy defending with 2. The Reformation attempt succeeds, and then the papacy says, okay, well, I'm going to try to counter-reform that space. Again, the papacy is going to end up with 2 dice, and the Protestants are going to end up with 4 dice. It's very symmetrical. The only place that it might not be symmetrical is in terms of resolving ties. The papacy only wins counter-reformation ties with specific popes. Otherwise, they lose the ties. And so you could have a situation where the Protestants are in language area, so they are gaining ties, so they're rolling 4 dice against 2, winning ties. The counter-reformation attempt, if the Pope is right, could be 2 dice against 4 with the papacy winning ties. Unfortunately, theological debates are much less symmetrical than Reformation attempts. There are very specific orders. It really matters whether you are the attacker or the defender. Because of this, I highly recommend for your first debate, just go through the rules like we're going to go through now and just read the steps and understand what you're supposed to do next. First, I'm going to read the home cards of the Protestant player and the 2 home cards of the papacy. The Protestant has a 5-value card, Here I Stand. If Luther is alive, Protestant may use this card to retrieve any card in the discard pile, playing or holding that card. Or, if Luther is alive, Protestant may substitute Luther, even if committed, for any debater during any round of a debate in the German language zone, and then draw a new card. Replaced debater becomes committed if he wasn't already. Luther returns off map after debate if he was excommunicated when the debate was called. The papacy has 2 home cards. Their first is a 4-value card, Papal Bull. Excommunicated Protestant reformer. You may also call a theological debate in the same language zone as the excommunication. And then there's an or part as to how you excommunicate an actual ruler. The second papal home card is a 3-value card, Leipzig debate. Call a theological debate. You can either specify your own debater or specify that one Protestant debater is not available during any one round of this debate. Now, there's also a just general 3 command point actions for calling a debate. And so the papacy home card is a slightly better version of that because it gives them slightly more control. We're going to say that it's the first turn and that the papacy is going to hold a theological debate by paying a 3 command point card, or by taking a 3 command point action. Right now, the only reformers or debaters that are available to the Protestant are in the German language zone. Therefore, the papacy is going to have to call this debate in the German language zone. First, let's talk about why you would want to hold a theological debate. Calling a theological debate is less predictable than using Reformation or Counter-Reformation attempts, but it does offer the following potential benefits. Victory points can be earned for burning or disgracing enemy debaters, and spaces may be converted to your denomination even if you don't have many positive religious modifiers nearby. As I said at the beginning of this video, I'm going to kind of read through the rules as we're going through this. Theological debate procedure, rule section 18.5. 1. Specify language zone. That, as I said just a second ago, the language zone has to be German because that's the only debaters that the Protestant player has. Choose the attacker. The power initiating the debate randomly picks an uncommitted debater to serve as the attacker in the debate. If the Protestant player called this theological debate, they must select from the pool of uncommitted debaters for that language zone. The papacy always selects from its full pool of uncommitted debaters, regardless of the language zone where the debate is being held. For this video, I'm going to use pretty much just English pronunciations for names. For the German names, I may use the German pronunciation if I know for a fact that it's supposed to be a German name. So the selected debater for the papal side is Cajetan, and he is a one-value debater. He gives no special abilities during a debate. The next step is step 3, choosing the defender. The power initiating the debate has 2 options when choosing who to target with a theological attack. They may either choose a random enemy debater from the pool of committed enemy debaters of the proper language zone if the target is Protestant, or choose a random enemy debater from the pool of uncommitted enemy debaters, again, of the proper language zone if the target is the Protestants. Now, this is very interesting. So the person who is the power that has started this debate can either choose one of the already committed debaters, if there are any, or one of the uncommitted debaters. And again, it's picked at random from the pool of either committed debaters or uncommitted debaters. During the actual debate, committed debaters on the defense are going to get less dice. And so for the attacker, in general, they probably want to pick an already committed debater. The Protestant player only has uncommitted debaters, so the papal player must select one of those uncommitted debaters at random to participate in the debate. And I'm gonna butcher this poor guy's name. Melanchthon has been selected. He's actually a 3-value debater. He doesn't actually, his bonus, because all debaters bring some form of a bonus, his bonus doesn't actually apply to debates. Step 4, debate initiator rolls dice. The power initiating the debate rolls a number of dice equal to the value of the debater, in this case 1, plus 3. Each roll of a 5 or a 6 is considered to be a hit. As the attacker, you get the number of dice of your debater value, in this case 1, plus 3 extra dice. In this case, the papacy is rolling 4 dice. The papacy rolls their 4 dice and gets the results as shown. The papacy has succeeded in generating 2 hits. So the papacy rolled 4 dice and scored 2 hits with those 4 dice. Step 5 is debate defender rolls dice. The number of dice rolled by the defending power varies based on whether or not the defender was already committed prior to the debate. If committed, the debate value of the debater plus 1 die. If uncommitted, debate value of the debater plus 2 dice. So this is why the debate initiator might very well want to pick an already committed debater, because they're only getting 1 extra die as opposed to 2 extra dice. In this particular case, the papacy hasn't done very well. They've selected a 3-value uncommitted Protestant debater, so the Protestant player is actually going to get to roll 5 dice. So the Protestant debater is a value 3, so that's 3 dice. The Protestant debater has not already been committed, so he is an uncommitted debater, and so he gets 2 bonus dice, total of 5. This debate certainly hasn't gone the way the papacy hoped it would. the Protestant player got to roll more dice than the papacy did, and the papacy's the attacker. You can see the dice rolls here. The Protestant player rolled rather well and has achieved 3 hits. Step 6, flip the debaters. Flip these 2 debaters to their committed side. Also, flip a debater that Luther replaced to his committed side. Step 7, compare dice rolls. Compare the number of hits for each side. The possible outcomes are equal hits on both sides. This is the first round of the debate. You then go through a procedure to set up a second round. Equal hits on both sides. This is the second round of the debate. Debate is inconclusive. This action is over. One side has more hits. Here we've got that. The Protestant has 3 hits. The papacy has 2 hits. The difference in the hit total is the number of spaces that the winning side may flip to their religious influence. All spaces flipped must be in the language zone in which the debate was held, if possible. Once all spaces in the chosen language zone are flipped to the winning denomination, additional hits are then used to flip spaces in other language zones. Spaces flipped to Protestant influence must be eligible for a Reformation attempt as specified in Step 1 of the Reformation procedure. Briefly, that means that either the space has to have a reformer, or it has to be adjacent to a Protestant space, or it has to be a port space in a C zone with a port space that is under Protestant religious control. Spaces flipped to Catholic influence must be eligible for a Counter-Reformation attempt as specified in Step 1 of the Counter-Reformation procedure. Similarly, very symmetrical. So in order to be eligible for a Counter-Reformation attempt, it either has to have a Jesuit university, has to be adjacent to a Catholic space, or it has to be a port on a C zone that has another port that is under Catholic religious control. The result of the debate may be modified if specific debaters were in the final papal debater. And you'd read it on the little guy's card. Okay, so here's the fun part of the debate. Burn the Protestant debater. If the papal player won the debate and the difference in the hit total was greater than the debate value of the Protestant debater, that debater is burnt at the stake. What that means is that debater comes out of the game and goes to the papal's victory point, the papacy's victory point area. The debater is worth its debate value in victory points to the papacy. Okay, well, this case, that's not the case because they didn't even win the debate. Okay, disgrace. So this is step 9. This is the alternative to burning the Protestant debater. Step 9, disgrace papal debater. If the Protestant player won the debate and the difference in the hit total was greater than the debate value of the papal debater, that debater is disgraced. Place him in the bonus VP box of the Protestant's power card. The Protestant earns victory points equal to his debate value. Well, so the papal debater here is very, very lucky because he is a value 1 debater and the Protestant player only won by 1 die. If they'd gotten a second extra hit, so if they'd gotten 4 hits and not just 3, the debater would have been disgraced. And that concludes a theological debate. Now, as I said at the beginning, the first time you run through this, or the first couple times you run through this, I recommend just pulling out the book and just reading it just like I did. There's a lot of little oh-by-the-ways and nuances here that are easy to forget in the heat of battle. Thanks for watching. Look for other videos coming soon. Bye.